Hello everyone, let's look over chapter 17, carbohydrates. Important functions of carbohydrates are providing energy through their oxidation, supplying carbon for the synthesis of cell components, and serving as stored form of chemical energies, forming a part of the structural elements of some cells and tissues. Carbohydrates are polyhydroxy aldehyde or ketone or substance is such a compound on hydrolysis. For example, when you see livers, you can see aldehyde bar. So R C O double bond H, that's aldehyde. And then also polyhydroxy mean many OH group, hydroxyl group. And then ketone is R C O double bond R. R is hydrocarbon. Okay, that's a carbohydrate. Let's look over classification of carbohydrate. So mono, the one saccharide. Simple carbohydrates most commonly consisting of 3 to 6 carbon atoms. Dimer 2, disaccharides, carbohydrate formed by combination of two monosaccharide units. Poly, the many saccharides, carbohydrate formed by combination of many monosaccharide units. So when you see this picture, one, some monosaccharide, you can see two monosaccharides that disaccharide. The chain containing 3 to 10 unit, in this case 5 unit, we can call oligosaccharide. And then long chain with possible hundred or thousand of the unit, that's polysaccharide. Many carbohydrates exist as enantiomers. Enantiomers are stereoisomers of mirror image. For example, you can see the mirror between L-glyceraldehyde and D-glyceraldehyde. So two molecules are enantiomers. Chiral is a descriptive term for compounds or objects that cannot be superimposed on their mirror image. Chiral carbon is carbon atom with 4 different groups attached. For example, when you see this carbon, there are 4 different groups: hydrogen, CHO, OH, CH2OH. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 different groups on carbon. So we can call this one chiral carbon. So center carbon of glyceraldehyde is chiral. The presence of single chiral carbon gives rise to stereoisomerism. If a carbon atom is attached to 4 different groups, it is chiral. If any two groups are identical, it is not chiral. So when you see this carbon, you can see one, two, three, 4 different groups. That's chiral. What about C3? So one hydrogen, one hydroxide, and one different group. The last one, different group. This one also chiral. This one chiral, also this one chiral. There are 4 chiral center. Organic molecules can have more than one chiral carbon. The maximum number of stereoisomers is 2n. And is the number of chiral carbon atoms. When you see erythrols, we can check chiral carbon. So when you see this carbon, there are 4 different groups: 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And then what about this carbon? 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4. So chiral center, but this carbon, there are two hydrogen. So same two hydrogen, this is not chiral. Also this one not chiral. When you draw the structure, carbon, CO double bond, hydrogen. There are three different groups, not four. That's not chiral. So there are two chiral center in this molecule. So compound with two chiral carbon atoms has two second exponent or fourth isomer. Compound with four chiral carbon atoms has two the fourth, so 16 stereoisomer. So remember 2n. Okay, let's solve problems. Which of the following compound contains a chiral carbon? Four different groups on one carbon. When you see this carbon, when you draw the structure OH, CH3, CH3, and it means one hydrogen. One, two, three different groups, but this one the same. This is not chiral. What about these structures? When you redraw structure CH3, C, CH2, CH3, and OH, and next you can see one hydrogen. So one, two, three, four different groups on same carbon. That's chiral. Okay, Fisher projections depict three-dimensional shape for chiral molecules. So with chiral carbon represented by intersection of two lines. So now can you see this is Fisher projections. Okay, you can see horizontal and vertical two lines intersection. That's Fisher projection. Visual projection of carbohydrates have carbonyl at the top or near the top. Okay. So now when you see this one, carbonyl, okay, you can see carbonyl group at the top or near the top. So hydroxyl group on the chiral carbon phi is from the carbonyl group determine whether carbohydrate is D or L. This OH on right side. So carbonyl, okay? Hydroxyl group on the chiral carbon phi is the one. This one, phi is the one. You can see OH on the right side. So that's D. So this one D erythros. And then when you see carbonyl first OH group, this one on the left side you can see so OH, so this one L. So two horizontal bond toward the view out of a plane. So of the paper, so they are drawn. Let's check a properties of enantiomers. Physical property of D and L isomers are generally the same. D and L enantiomers rotate polarized right in equal but opposite directions. Levorotatory enantiomer rotate plane polarized light to the left, so minus enantiomer. Dextrorotatory, so enantiomer rotates plane polarized light to the right, positive enantiomers. What type of isomers are these molecule? You can put meter between the image. So this one enantiomers. So compounds cannot be superimposed on their mirror image. That's enantiomers. Compounds cannot be superimposed on their mirror image. That's enantiomer. Okay. Okay. Question to ask when classifying monosaccharide. Is it monosaccharide an aldehyde? So what does it mean? R, C, O, double bond, H. That's aldehyde. You can call aldose. And ketone is R, CO double bond and R. That's ketone. That's ketose. So how many carbon atoms are present in the monosaccharide? So three carbon atoms we can call triose. So four carbon atom tetrose. Five carbon atom pentose. Six carbon atom hexose. Okay, let's classify monosaccharide. So now you can see CHO, it means C carbonyl and hydrogen. Okay, so that's aldehyde. And how many carbon can you see here? You can put number one on carbonyl carbon, one, two, three, and four carbon. So aldo tetros. And then also you can see here R, CO double bond R. That's ketone. So keto, how many carbon? So one, two, three, four, five carbon. So pentose. This is keto pentose. Left one, aldo tetros. You need to classify monosaccharide. Okay, most monosaccharides are aldose. What does it mean aldose? R, C, O, double bond H include this structure. Almost all natural monosaccharides belong to D series. Where can you see OH group? That's on the right side. Half of stereoisomers are D, and the other half are L. When you see Fischer projection, okay? So now can you see HO? What is that? Aldo. And how many carbon can you see here? One, two, three carbon. What is name? Aldo trios. Okay, so this one aldehyde, how many carbon can you see here? One, two, three, and four. So aldo tetrosis. This one five carbon, aldo pentose, six carbon, aldo hexosis. And also when you see OH group on the right side, we can call D. On the right side, D. On the right side, D. Or right side, OH, that's D. Okay. D. Okay, what is classification for this monosaccharide? So first, let's find function group RCO, R, CO double bond H and R. What is that? Aldehydes, aldo. And how many carbon can you see here? One, two, three, four, five, six carbon. So what is six? That's hexose. So aldo hexose. Okay. Physical property of monosaccharide. Most monosaccharide and disaccharide are called sugars because they taste sweet. All carbohydrates are solid at room temperature. Monosaccharides are extremely water soluble because of the many hydroxyl groups forming hydrogen bonding with water molecules. Okay, let's look over monosaccharide reactions. All monosaccharide with at least five carbon atom exists predominantly as a cyclic hemiacetal and hemicatal. So what is cyclic? That's a ring. Okay. Hemiacetal. What does it mean? On the same carbon, you have to see OR group, and then one OH group and one hydrogen. That's hemiacetal. Okay, hemiacetal. Also, can you see on this carbon, one OR group, one OH. and then hydrogen. That's cyclic hemiacetal. Okay. What is a cyclic hemiacetal? That's OR, OH, and R group. So same carbon, you can say OR group and OH, one OR, one OH, and two R group. That's cyclic hemiacetal. Hemiacetal. Cyclic hemiacetal. Also, Howard structures. The method of depicting three-dimensional carbohydrate structure. That's Howard structures. You can see cyclization of glucose. So now can you see here? Aldehyde function group. And how many carbon can you see here? One, two, three, four, five, six carbon. And then you can see hydroxy group on C5. Okay. Hydroxyl group attack to carbon to generate beta D glucose and alpha D glucose. You can see this cyclic hemiacetal. So one OH group, one OR group on same carbon. So you can see pointing up OH group. We can call this beta hydroxyl group. So pointing down, we can call this one alpha hydroxyl group. Memorize. Pointing down OH, that's alpha hydroxyl group. Pointing up, that's beta hydroxyl group. Okay. And also, you can see here chiral center is that's aromatic carbon. You can see this one aromatic carbon. Okay. So open chain structure is numbers starting at the end, close to carbonyl carbon atom. So what does it mean? This one close to carbonyl carbon, there's a C1. Okay. The alkyl group on the carbon next to last carbon atom added to carbonyl group. Which one? So alkyl group, carbon next to last carbon. Which one is the last carbon? C6, but next C5, you can say OH attack to carbon here. In the case of glucose, alkyl group on carbon 5 added to aldehyde group on C carbon 1. So furanose ring forms. So furanose ring is six-membered ring containing an oxygen atom. When you see next structure, now can you see six-membered ring? One, two, three, four, five, six with oxygen. That's pyranose ring, six-membered ring with oxygen. And in the case of the fructose, alkyl group on carbon 5 added to ketone group on C carbon 2 of furanose forms. Furanose rings is five-membered ring containing an oxygen atom. So when you see here's one, two, three, four, five-membered ring with oxygen, we can call furanose of ring. There are possible stereoisomers can be formed during cyclization. So alpha enomer, so OH group on the anomeric carbon pointing down. Okay? So what does it mean? So pointing down, that's alpha uh, carbon, alpha hydroxyl group. Okay, this one aromatic carbon. And then beta enomer, OH on the anomeric carbon pointing up. That's beta enomer. Okay, so you can see pointing down, that's alpha hydroxyl group. Pointing up, that's beta hydroxyl group. The rules for drawing, okay, hormone structures. Draw the ring with each oxygen to the back. Oxygen to the back, okay? To put anomalic carbon on the right side of the ring. So anomalic carbon on the right side of the ring. Okay. Next oxygen. So envision the ring as a planar with grooves pointing up or down. And terminal CH2OH group always shown above the ring for the monosaccharide. Can you see CHOH above the ring? It means the D monosaccharide. Okay, oxidation of monosaccharide. All monosaccharide are reducing sugars. Reducing sugars is sugar can be oxidized by weak oxidizing agent. So Benedict's reagent test for reducing sugar. So reduce sugar with copper 2 metal to generate oxidized compound and uh, copper oxide, copper 1 oxide. So deep blue solution to red orange precipitate, it means a non-contain mono saccharide is reducing sugar. So for example, CO double bond H and draw monosaccharide HOH, HH, next CH2OH. This one, the glucose. When you add copper 2 metal, you can get CO double bond OH, OH, HOH, OH, and CH2OH. So here, aldehyde to carboxylic acid. So hydrogen to OH. Okay. So sugar can be oxidized by weak oxidizing agent. Formation of phosphate esters. OH group of monosaccharide can behave as alcohol and with acid to form ester. So you can see, okay, phosphate ester group here. Yes, phosphate ester group here. Okay, their name for carbohydrate containing acetal or ketal groups. What is acetal? Acetal is same carbon. You can see two OR groups. OR group. And you can see R and hydrogen. That's acetal. What is ketal? You need to see the same two OR group on same carbon and then two R groups. That's ketal. Okay. Formed when cyclic monosaccharide react with alcohol. This one monocyclic monosaccharide react with alcohol, that's methyl alcohol, in the presence of acid, okay? You can generate glycoside, okay? So now, you can see OH2 here, OCH3, okay? So you need to add OCH3 into here and then combine OH and hydrogen to generate water. Okay, so you can see OH3 to the bottom, in this case to the top. So this line we can call it glycosidic linkage. This one glycosidic linkage. So pointing down, that's alpha. Pointing up, that's beta. Okay. Glycosidic linkage is new carbon oxygen carbon linkage. Okay, new carbon oxygen carbon linkage. join component of glucoside to the ring. Okay, let's classify following cyclic monosaccharide. So now let's focus on aromatic carbon. You can see OH group pointing down. That's alpha, right? And then how many? Uh, this one, two, three, four, five membered ring. That's alpha furanose. Okay, alpha furanose. So important, okay, monosaccharide reverse and deoxy reverse are pentose. What does it pentose? Five carbons. Five carbons. Okay. So used in the synthesis of nucleic acid, DNA, and RNA, substance essential in protein synthesis and transfer of genetic materials. Reverse, this one reverse form long chain makeup RNA. Deoxyribose. This one deoxyribose form long chain of DNA. Why it is deoxy? D remove oxygen. Where? As C2. C2 can you see? In this case, you can see hydroxyl group. In this part, there's no hydrogen, hydroxyl group. So deoxyribose, this one reverse. So hexosis, hexo 6 carbon is most nutritionally important monosaccharide. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbon. Called dextrose or blood sugar. Okay. Used as sweetener in confections and other foods. This one, glucose. Okay, glucose. What about beta D galactose? Beta mean pointing up, okay? D, you CH2OH on the top, and galactose, you can see only difference, okay? This one on the pointing down, that's beta D glucose. This one only different is this part. So pointing up, that's beta D galactose. So hexosis with a structure similar to glucose, okay? Component of lactose, milk sugar. What about fructose? Fructose. The most important keto hexosis. Keto. What does it mean? R, C O R, double bond and R. That's keto. Hexo. What does it mean? Six carbon. Six carbons. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbon. Okay. And then the sweetest monosaccharide. They present in honey in a 1-to-1 ratio of the glucose. Let's look over disaccharide. Disaccharide. Two monosaccharide unit linked together by acetal or ketal linkages. Glycerol linkage is identified by numbers associated with carbon atom joined together by the linkage. So configuration of the linkage for the any aromatic carbon atom joined by linkage. So now you can see two alpha D glucose, alpha D glucose. Okay, and this one the mono. There are two monomers, and then this one you can remove hydrogen OH group. Okay, and then remove OH group and then you can generate alpha pointing down. It's C1 to C4. So alpha 1 to 4 glycoside linkage. Also you can see so aromatic carbon that's hemiacetal. Hemiacetal means on same carbon you can see one OR group, one OH and one hydrogen. That's hemiacetal. And then cold more sugar, so this one maltose contain two glucose units joined by alpha 1 4 glycolic linkage. So now can you see aromatic carbon? You can see C1. So pointing down, that's alpha 1 2. This one 1 2 3 4. C4 you can see connected. It's carbon, oxygen, carbon. That's glycosic linkage. Okay. And lactose, called milk sugar. So 5% cow milk and 7% human milk by weight. Okay. So lactose. Reduced sugar is containing hemiacetal group. What is a hemiacetal group? On same carbon, you can see one OH, one OR group with hydrogen. That's hemiacetal. Okay, that's reducing uh, sugar. So next, screws, common household sugars. So composed of fruct fructose and glucose unit joined by alpha 1 to beta 2 glucosic linkage. So this is not reducing sugar, okay? Because there is no hemi acetal. So when you see disaccharide, you can see maltose, lactose, and sucrose. So you can see monosaccharide constituent two glucose unit, that's for maltose. Galactose and glucose monosaccharide two lactose. One glucose and one fructose, that's sucrose. Oh, let's focus on polysaccharide. Condensation polymers containing thousands of the unit is not water soluble, but hydroxy groups become hydrate individually when exposed to water. Okay, example, the starch. Okay, let's check the properties. Okay, so monosaccharide and disaccharide, so low molecular weight. What about polysaccharide? Very high. And then what about taste? Monosaccharide and disaccharide, that's sweet. Polysaccharide, tasteless. Solubility in water. Monosaccharide and disaccharide, soluble. Polysaccharide, insoluble. Size of particles. Path through the membrane for monosaccharide and disaccharide. The polysaccharides do not pass through the membrane. Now let's look over the starch. The polymer consisting of D-glucose units. Major storage from of the D-glucose in place. You can see amylose and amylopectin can be isolated from the planes. When you see the structure of the amylose, you can see unbranched chain 10 to 20%. Okay, so you can see alpha 1 4 glycosidic linkage. Alpha means pointing down, and then C1 through C4. Okay, that's amylose. That's unbranched. Also, aminopectin structure branches chains 80-90% with alpha 1 to 4 and alpha 1 to 6 glycosic linkage. So now pointing down, that's alpha C1 to C6. C1 to C6. Okay. And then also you can see pointing down alpha 1 to 4. Okay, so you can see here the branch. That's amylopectin. Okay, glycogen called animal starch. Polymer of glucose units are used by animal to store glucose. Okay, thank you for watching video for chapter 17, carbohydrate.